Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with my 5-star reads of the fall season. That means these are all the 5-star reads I read in September, October, and November. The list is honestly not that long. I do have 10 books I'm talking about, and that's because I'm going to talk about the one I started because I am simply obsessed, and I will be shocked if it's not a 5-star read, but I'm only 20% in, so I'm saving that for the end. I don't know if that'll count. I have done this every season since this year started, and I think I did it last year. I've been doing it for a few years now, but I will go ahead and link my winter, spring, and summer wrap-ups for you that I've done already, but these are the absolute 5 stars. I think I have one in here that's a 4.5 that I'm going to talk about anyways. I am planning on doing a video talking about my 4.5 star reads of the year. I am excited. I'm going to film that right after this because I'm doing a ton of videos in a row, but we will go ahead and chat about my 5-star reads, the 10 of them, kind of. It's technically 8 plus a 4.5 plus a book I'm in the middle of. Let's go ahead and talk. The first one that started off the season is Wild Card by Elsie. I read this as an arc. I absolutely loved it. I love a good age gap, and I really love the complexity of the relationships in here because it is a boyfriend's dad romance. However, they meet before she's dating the boyfriend slash son, and they literally meet right after the hero learns he has a son who is in his 20s, so it's not like they are super close, and the hero is so conflicted because he is trying so hard to build a relationship with this son he never knew he had. Him and the heroine meet. They have like a whirlwind night together stuck in an airport, really like each other, exchange phone numbers. They never actually are able to connect for reasons, and so they see each other a year later at his son's birthday party where she is in attendance as his girlfriend, and he's like, what are you doing here? And then they figure out what's happening, and she does end up breaking up with the son before she moves to the small town where the hero is from. She becomes close friends with someone that he is close to and actually is hired as kind of like a caretaker for him while he has surgery, so it's very forced proximity. I just loved all of the plot of this. I loved the complexity of the romance in here and the relationships in here, and I thought it was a perfect ending to the series. It was so phenomenal. I loved it. And I did read Good Spirits by BK Boris. I grabbed my copy with the gorgeous sprayed edges. We have these end pages. I'm obsessed with the cover of this art. It is stunning, and it is a ghost Christmas romance. If you know me, ghost romances are a buzzword for me and Christmas romances are a buzzword. Put them together, I'm sold. This one absolutely blew me away. I am obsessed with BK Borison's romances, and this is no exception. This one, our heroine loves Christmas, and she is always like dressing up. She's eating candy canes, she's drinking some hot chocolate, and the hero shows up as a ghost. He died like 100 years ago, and he is a ghost of Christmas past. So he always shows people like where they went wrong, like how they're a bad person, how they need to be better. And the memories he's showing the heroine, he's like, I don't know what's to fix here. Like, this is very odd, and different things are happening than it ever happened before, and he is falling for her. He falls so hard. It's a he falls first and he falls hard. It is amazing, and they're just trying to figure out like why he's there and what's going on, and I absolutely loved it. I actually would love to reread this like already. It was so good, and I read half of it though on a very stressful plane flight. I was stuck in Texas overnight because my flight got canceled, so that would kind of, I feel like, affected my reading experience because I was definitely stressing when I was trying to distract myself with this book, so I'd love to read it again. Amazing. Everybody needs to read it. I have a few paranormal ones. So we have Tessa, who I absolutely love. Rising Rain came out in September, and it was absolutely amazing. 5 stars. Loved the ending to the series. It's Wolf Shifter, Why Choose, Touch Her and Die. I've been reading more Why Choose now. I feel like I go through phases where I read a lot. A couple months go by, then I read more. So I was reading this, and I'm reading a lot now, and I just love it so much, and I'm reading a Wolf Shifter romance right now. I love shifter romances, and I need to read more, and this one, like I said, was such a good ending to this series because our heroine does get into some trouble because someone has been after her since the beginning, and she's finally opening up to the heroes and like letting them know her truth about her past and who she is. And then we have a lot of training in here. We have a character show up that is going to get the next series, and I'm so excited for that because they're gonna be vampires. It's gonna be amazing. So love this trilogy, love this ending. 5 stars. Okay, so this one I'm including because it was my 4.5 star read. However, it was a novella, and I feel like I can excuse the 0.5 deduction because it's a novella, and that is Hot for Slayer by Ali Hazelwood. This book was so good, and I have another Ali Hazelwood book on this list, and again, it's a novella, but like, it was amazing. She writes paranormal so well. No, I have not yet read Mate yet. I loved Bride when I read it last year. I know I need to read Mate, but this one is a novella she came out with in the series of like, I forget what they were called, but Monlink released them. They were free on KU Read and Listen, and I think if you have like Prime Reading, they're free too. Like, everyone can basically read them if you have any sort of subscription on Amazon, and this one was absolutely the best one of the pack. This one was an amnesia romance between a vampire and a vampire slayer, and he has been hunting her down for years, like decades, centuries. It's been a long time, and he loses his memory. He doesn't even know that vampires exist, and she feels bad, so she like decides to help him, and they uncover some things about each other, and it is so good. I think the ending was a little rushed. That's the nature of novellas, though. I gave it 4.5 stars, but so good. Then I have a couple small town romances. So we have Secret Haven by Catherine Cowles. This is also the end of this series, and this one was amazing. This one's the one we've been waiting for. It's Kai and Fallon. Their story has been teased since book 1, and they are foster siblings. Kai did not move in with their family, though, until he was like 16, and Kai and Fallon actually met before he moved in with them, so they were kind of falling for each other as teenagers, and then something really tragic happened with his family, and he needed a place to live, and her mom has adopted a lot of kids or fostered them, and so he ends up being placed with her family, and he decides he does not want to jeopardize this potential living situation in future at all, so they don't do anything together, and they pretty much cut off anything that could have been, and now they are in their late 20s, and they have to have a marriage of convenience, and they're single guardians, and it is so emotional, so amazing, and everything that like it built up to be. And then of course there's suspense in here about someone who is attacking some people from some of their past, so they have to figure out who's doing that and putting Fallon in danger, and it is amazing. Kai just loves her to the ends of the earth, and they are so in love with each other. It is like a soulmate's always been you situation. Amazing, obsessed, love it. And if you like romantic suspense, you are going to love Half-Light Harbor by Samantha Young. I read this, gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this. It's a Scottish romance. She moves to a coastal Scottish small town, and she's opening a bed and breakfast. She's renovating it. She left behind a not so great life, a not so great boyfriend, and now the reclusive, grumpy guy who lives on the island right by town, he is helping renovate her B&B, and when she first arrives, she wants to explore, so she goes and reads the sign wrong about when the tide comes in and gets stuck on his island, and he is like, what are you doing? She's like, I have all this time. He's like, no, that's when you can leave, like that's when the tide goes down. And so she's stuck with him. He's super grumpy, but he has a really cute dog, and he has a very secret past that is very suspensey, which I really like. Someone is threatening her and after her as well, and he gets very protective and helps with that, and they do have sort of a friends with benefits situation going on, and the hero never wants to get closer because he's just so damaged, and it is so good. I love the ending too. We have pretty cool suspense happening in here, so if you love suspense, I think you would love this. Then I do have Maestro by Auden Dar. I've talked about this one a lot recently, but this one is perfect if you love super angsty romances. This one is literally they meet when they're 13, and they are soulmates. They're best friends, and they kind of start turning into something more in high school, and then thing after thing after thing in life rips them apart, and they try so hard to be together, and it does have an HEA. They do find a way to be together, but it takes over a decade. Like, it takes a very long time. There are people in here who think they know best about them and push them in directions that is not really fair, but they think they know what's best for them, and life happens. And she is a like really prestigious cello player, but he is like a child prodigy at violin and conducting, and so he is trying to do everything he can to be the best, and it goes from there. It takes place in New York, a lot of most of it. Sometimes they move around, but I loved it so much, and there were some secrets, and I teared up multiple times. So emotional, so amazing. Please read this. And a new author to me, which I also have talked about quite a lot recently, is It's Different This Time by Joss Richard. If you know me, I love Second Chance. It should be no surprise that I love this. Dual timeline, and it takes place in New York City, which I absolutely want to just like jump on a plane and go after reading this. It is so good. So our heroine is an actress, and she mostly is in Broadway, and she lives in New York, and her and the hero end up moving into this brownstone together as friends, and they got like a really good deal, and then we know something happened, and they haven't spoken in 5 years, and she has left. She hasn't even seen him. She went to California. She's doing like movie work, and we really start off in the beginning 5 years in the future, where it's like she's called back to New York because the guy who owned the brownstone has passed away and left it to both of them, and because of like the process of everything, they have to wait a month in order to either sell it or decide to keep it, and they can get like millions from it. And so they see each other again. He is now a restaurant owner because he's a chef and has his own restaurant, and they have to talk and she's not ready for that, but they end up rehashing what went wrong, realize they still have insane chemistry, and we follow them of what went wrong leading up to like the big explosion of why she left, what happened, why they haven't spoken when they were so close and like clearly on the cusp of something. So good. I love A Second Chance, and I think this did it perfectly. The other Ali Hazelwood I have on this list is Unbound. This was her novella that she originally only released on Spotify. I think you can only listen to it right now, and I have a family plan on Spotify with my parents, and like, yes, still. I don't get the audio credits. I think there's a way you have to like do weird things with to get it, and so I just never listened to it, and it finally dropped on Audible, and I think it's actually on Hoopla if I remember correctly. I didn't realize that though, or I didn't check if it's on mine. It was like $4 and I was like, absolutely buy. This was amazing. I can't tell you too much without spoiling. It is paranormal, that's all I can say, but she works with rare books, and so she's really good at identifying if something's a forgery or not, and she's currently in school and she works for this bookshop, and she ends up coming with a plan with the owner of the bookshop that she will actually forge books and only sell them to bad people though. So it's like, oh, I don't feel bad, I'm stealing like millions from them because they're not that great in the first place and they don't know that they aren't actually getting a real book. And so someone has collected all of her forgeries and has approached her, and they're like, I know what you're doing, I need your help. And it goes from there, and it is a romance and it is paranormal, and that's all I want to say, but it was amazing. Like literally I was listening and I was like, this is the best thing ever. And again, the ending was just like a tad bit rushed. It is not as rushed as the Vampire Slayer one, but still just like a little bit fast at the end. But again, it's like novella length and it was amazing. It's longer novella though. I don't think Ali could ever write like a super short book, but obsessed, love it, and I need to read more from her. And the last one that I'm including on this list because I'm so obsessed is The Night Prince. I read The Wolf King last month and it was amazing. It was mostly amazing because of the end. I was like, I can't put my finger on why I'm not loving this, and then we got to the end and I was like, oh, that's why. That is why I wasn't like fully committed to it yet, and then I got fully committed. And so the first beginning of this, like I said, I'm 20% and I just got to a part where I was like, absolutely yes. Yes, and I am obsessed. So she is the daughter of this king, and she's betrothed to this like other kingdom, and she ends up getting taken by these wolf shifters. So she had watched this like competition of these shifters who have to like fight to the death. She basically was like, hey, don't kill them, that's barbaric, like just put them in the dungeon. And her betrothed agrees, and then they escape, and the main guy, who is not an alpha, but like he is, I don't want to spoil and I don't want to explain, but he's pretty powerful. And so he's like, come with me, I will help you because you're obviously betrothed to a horrible person, and you can help me because they are like against the people she's marrying into. And so she ends up going with him and then learning about the wolf shifters and that they're not actually as bad as she was told, and things happen. And the second book is so good. I really wanted it to be MFM. I don't think it's poly. I think that she's gonna choose one of them, but so it's more like love triangle and not poly, which is fine. Would have been so good poly, but I'm loving it. I am like so into it. I started actually Alchemized yesterday and I just could not get into it, so I switched to this and I'm obsessed. So I'm gonna go back to Alchemized at some point, but this one, I'm flying through it. I love it. I'm obsessed. And those are all my 5-star reads of the fall season. So those are all of my 5 stars from the past 3 months. Let me know if you read any of these and your thoughts, and what your most recent 5-star reads were. I would love to hear. If you have made it this far, leave me a disco ball emoji. I feel like I use emojis that go with books and I'm running out of them, and I use them over and over again, and I don't think I've used this one. So leave me a disco ball in the comments down below to let me know you watched, and that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.